Yo, 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 happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. My name is Justin Moore, founder of Creator Wizard, where I teach you how to find and negotiate your dream brand sponsorships. Here we go, back for another live stream. Excited to be here. Today, we're talking about why brands aren't sponsoring you. Is this something that you're wondering? Are you sitting here being like, what's going on here? I'm growing my audience. I'm doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing, but how come no one's talking to me? How come no one's reaching out? I thought if I build it, they will come. But alas, that's not how things go here. So let me know where you're tuning in from because we are going to be having a bunch of fun here today. And you know that these live streams are for y'all. So any questions that you have around partnerships, brand deals, negotiations, et cetera, that's what we're going to be talking about today here. I am over here. I'm seeing on Instagram that my video is frozen. I don't know why my video is frozen. Can you let me know, those of you, Naya, Ben's Big Deal, we've got John Pajak tuning in from Northwest Indiana. Is my video frozen for you over there? I hope that it's not. We've got Naya from Dallas, Mimsy and Co from Tampa. Yeah, let me know if you're seeing my video on Instagram because I don't know why it's frozen on my preview screen here, but hopefully not. So let's see who we've got tuning in on some other platforms here. We've got Jonathan from San Jose tuning in. Jonathan, I don't know if you knew that, but I was born in San Jose, California. Grew up in Fremont, so good to see you here. Giselle says, looks fine. All right, John says you are good. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that. All good. Okay, good. So a couple orders of business here right away. I got in a fist fight recently, and you should see the other guy. Just kidding. I didn't. I don't know if you noticed that my eye is literally black and blue. I don't know if you could see here, but I just want to call this out right away that I did not get into a fist fight. I got a mole removed and they injected this like numbing agent into my face. And it made my entire like eye black and blue because they had to remove this mole. It was like right next to my eye. And so that's why I look like I got in a fist fight. But don't worry, I'm okay. I've been told that it will subside, but it's very obvious that my face is deformed. We've got Jack Smith tuning in from currently in Colombia. Jack Smith said, I signed up for Brand Deal Wizard yesterday. Guys, let's go. Let's give it up for Jack Smith in the chat, a brand new christened Brand Deal Wizard student. Good to see you here, Jack. I hope what is the weather like in Colombia this time of the year? Is it like really hot? Like I'm not sure how summers are in Colombia, so hope it's going well for you, and great to be DMing with you recently as well, Jack. We've got Parker's on the go. We've got Kaylee Carroll. Ben's Big Deal says, sounds great on IG and the picture is perfect. Absolutely love to see it. We've got Eloise Head tuning in on LinkedIn. Good to see you here. All right, so let's jump into it. Any questions that you have, again, make sure to drop it in the chat and I'll make sure to get back to those. But we're going to be talking about why brands aren't sponsoring you. And there's really 10 mistakes that I want to chat through right up top. Real quickly before we dive into it, I do want to just do a real quick shout out for the fact that I am launching a live challenge called the 10K Brand Deal Challenge that starts in T-minus 9 days. So it starts on July 10th, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be literally 7 days of live accountability. If you're looking to kind of get a jump start on Q3 literally just started today, which Q3 is quarter three. And this is oftentimes when brands are, they have a new marketing budget that opens up that they're able to spend with partnering with creators starting today. So if you want to jumpstart, figure out how you can get some of your hands on some of those summer influencer marketing budgets, I would love for you to join. You can go to creatorwizard.com/10K challenge. It is a paid challenge, so it's $97 to participate, but it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be going live multiple times throughout the week, throughout those days. So I'd love to see you there. So creatorwizard.com/10K challenge. And we are going to be talking about some of these types of things, which is like these 10 mistakes. So the first mistake that I want to talk about is just aimlessly creating content without defining your value proposition. This has been a struggle for a lot of creators that I work with, which is like, they feel as though they don't know what their wedge is compared to the other, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 travel influencers. I think actually Parker's on the Go, we were talking about this maybe last week or the week before. It's like, what is my wedge compared to, if I'm reaching out to a brand, like what is the unique thing of like why a brand would want to work with us versus, some of these other 100 creators that are like reaching out wanting to collaborate with this brand. And this is actually, a really, really important topic. And I actually talk about it in my book, Sponsor Magnet, which is defining your surprising transformative promise. And so surprising equals like figuring out what is my one-liner, my elevator pitch. So if I'm ever in a conversation with a brand or I'm reaching out and I'm pitching them cold via email, what is my one-liner where they're going to be like, ooh, they're going to perk up and be like, wow, that seems like a very novel or interesting thing. Let me actually hear more. So let me break this down. So surprising equals like unique. So you're actually focused on something very specific. So Parker's on the Go, just to like pull that thread of your example, like you guys are travel influencers, right? And so like maybe you are travel influencers for people over 50. I don't know how old you are, but I'm like just making an example up here is like you focus on an older demographic, like a, Gen X or some, maybe you're over 60 or whatever, right? That's like a very specific thing. You're very overt about the fact that that's who you cater to, right? The transformative is, so you focus on the, travelers over 55, helping them be healthy while they travel. So you focus on this idea of like, what are the things that you can do? Fitness on the go, eating well on the go. What are the apps, the services that they can use to like, a mobile app that can help them get all their steps in or, a Garmin or some sort of Fitbit or something like, how do you stay healthy on the go when you're not just like gorging yourself on all the amazing food as you travel and all that stuff, right? I'm making this up, right? But like, it's a transformative thing, right? So how do you maintain your health goals as you're traveling? And so that's the surprising, that's the transformative part. And then the promise that you're actually going to help them do it. It's not just about cataloging your life and your travels where people get this kind of, vicarious experience like, oh, look at us, we're traveling the world. It's like, no, we're being very specific that the content that we're creating is for you. We're going to help you do this thing. So this is the surprising transformative promise framework that I talk about in my book, Sponsor Magnet. By the way, you can go to sponsormagnet.com to pick up a copy. And this is going to be the thing where instead of just aimlessly creating content that's like, tickles your fancy, it's like, what is the value proposition that we're actually giving to our audience as well as prospective brand partners that we want to collaborate with? Drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a thinking emoji if this is like causing you to pause about like what are the things that you could potentially tweak in your content strategy to better articulate what you're bringing to the table. Is this making sense? Even if you're lurking and you haven't made a comment yet, drop a praise hands emoji, drop the money tongue one. Come on, give me maybe the diamond, the diamond emoji, give me something. How about the mind blown emoji? Something like that. Parker's on the Go said, yes, we've been thinking about this last week. By the way, I talk about this in my book, Sponsor Magnet. Guess what? The audiobook is now available on Audible. It's now available on Libro.fm. It's now available on many other audiobook platforms too. But if you're thinking, if I've been like, shilling this book for months and you're like, Justin, I don't read anymore. Come on. What do you think I am? I don't read. Well, guess what? I read the book in my own voice and now you have no excuse. You can listen to it on 2x speed. So you can pick up the book there. How many of you have picked up the book? How many of you have read the book? Can you do a raise hands emoji or like a clapping emoji if you've picked up the book, just so I can give you all a shout out of all of you who have picked up the book? That would mean a lot to me. We've got Casey Decanay in the Instagram chat. We've got John Pajak. We've got TC is me. We've got Queen's Fancy Plans. My ADV 360 has joined. Good to see you all here. And Parker's on the Go said, we actually crafted an elevator pitch for this exact thing. Okay, so Parker's on the Go. Drop it in the chat. What is your elevator pitch? Let's have you serve as an example for everyone else here. Jeannie Giannoni. Did I say that? Did I pronounce that properly? I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, let me know. Ioannis Glinevos Hey, Justin, great to catch you live. Juanis, did I mispronounce your name? If I did, please correct me, but it's good to see you here. All right, let's see here. My ADV 360 says, I was just listening to the audiobook and then I saw the notification about your live. John says, I bought several copies and gifted them. What the heck? Naya says, just grabbed one for my assistant too. The Hinati, good to see you here from the KMH family. Hey, Justin and everyone. Yes, I got the book. It's amazing. Okay, you know what? We're gonna give it up for all of you in the chat here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. That really, really means a lot to me that you picked up the book. And honestly, like the best, like two things. One, if you have not left a review on Amazon for the book, that would be, if I've ever helped you, if the book has helped you, leaving a review on Amazon for the book would be amazing. That would be the next best thing, or that would be the best thing that you could ever do to like thank me if I've ever helped you, because that review potentially might help another creator who's kind of trying to decide whether my book will help them. So that would mean a lot to me. And if I could give you an extra challenge, maybe make a video review of the book. What do you think of that? Anyways, I think I'm at like almost 125 reviews on Amazon, which is, I've heard that 100 review threshold or 200 review threshold, once you get past that, Amazon starts pushing the book in its algorithm because it says, oh, this is like a legitimate book now. And it starts like recommending it. You ever see on Amazon where it's like, also bought with this book is this other book. And I've started to see my book being recommended with like those types of things. So that's feeling like pretty exciting. So we've got Dakota from the Bearded IT Dad. Good to see you here. Jeannie Giannone said, almost good try. Well, you got to correct me now. You can't just say good try. You got to correct me. Jonathan said, what if I show things to do for fun? I do travel content. What if I show things to do for fun? What would be something that's helping people? Well, again, what it can't just be something arbitrary, Jonathan. It has to be something very specific. I do travel content. Would it make sense for me to show fun things to do or show hidden gems? Would that help people and show them that it's for them? I think you need to be more explicit than that. What type of travel content? Who is the exact types of people what are the hidden gems that you're showing? Is it for people who are on a budget? Is it for people who are spending extravagantly? Is it for people of a certain age? Is it are these hidden gems for people of a certain persuasion? Like I'm saying, like I need to know, is this for me? If I am a brand wanting to collaborate with you, are you the person? Are you the go-to person? Are you one of one? You're no longer one of the 10,000 travel creators that are out there. It's you are the person that showcases the weird and off, like road less traveled gems that no one ever goes to. Is that you? Because if that's you, you're the person I want to partner with, not those other 10,000 people, because you have the audience of the people that like those weird types of things, right? The secret distillery or the secret brewery in the back alleyway of New York City or whatever. Is that the types of things that you do? That's the person that I want to hire. It's Jonathan. It's not those like 100 other creators that are pitching me. It's you. And so I think a lot of people, a lot of creators think that, well, isn't that aren't I pigeonholing myself if I go super deep? There are 100,000 travel creators out there, or whatever niche that you're in. Do you want to be one of one, or do you want to be one of 100,000? And so I really think this is a very important realization that you need to have here is like, what would you prefer? Would you like to have 10,000 super, 5,000, or even 1,000 super engaged people in your audience? And you can, illustrate that to a potential brand partner, or do you want to be, someone who just like makes barely a blip on the radar of, just the average everyday person who's swiping there for. Here's the thing that you have to understand about how the content game has changed over the last couple years, which is that before the viewer behavior or the follower behavior was that I was going to click follow or click subscribe on a person that I wanted to hear more from. Right. So I remember this 10 years ago, the user behavior, let's say on YouTube, was that you would go to your subscriptions feed to watch, the new content from the people that you subscribe to. Is that how any of us interact with YouTube now? No, we go to youtube.com and we go to our home screen, and the algorithm is so good because it recommends videos to you based on your viewer behavior, not based on who you subscribe to, because they realize that like, no, the best predictor of keeping you on the platform and keeping you satisfied is showing you content that you watched in the past, because you'll probably watch more of content like that. It's the same on short form content, TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, even LinkedIn now, Pinterest, whatever. Like you go on your feed or whatever, and they serve you content that they think that you're going to like. And so this is the really, really important thing to realize, is that when you're putting out content like that, it has to serve the viewer. It has to serve. Why, if the person's hovering, trying to decide, obviously following and subscribership is still a signal that these platforms use of whether they're going to show this content, to that person, but it's not the primary one now. It's what this person consumed in the past. And so this is like a really, really, really important, like a thing to realize here, is that when you are trying to be intentional of designing your elevator pitch, designing your STP, how is it going to serve the viewer? It can't just serve you. It can't just be an ego thing. Okay. All right. So Rescue Fit said here in the YouTube chat, "Hey, Justin, your book is like my business Bible for YouTube. I haven't even finished it yet. And I got a contract signed, and I am in the works of completing the deliverables now." Y'all, I think you know what we need to do here. We're going to pull this up on the screen here. We're gonna give up some golf claps here in the chat for Rescue Fit. I want to see everyone here giving the clapping emoji for Rescue Fit here in the chat, and I'm gonna screenshot the heck out of this thing. You know I am. Here we go. I got to do the screenshot face. You know I'm gonna do it. How do I? Where did it go? I think I got it. Well, hold on. There we go. There it is. I'm gonna save this. How do I escape? There we go. Okay, I got it. And now what did I just do? I just screwed something up. There we go. I'm sharing the screenshot now. How did that happen? That's so bizarre. Let me go back to here. Is this the full screen one? I don't understand how to get rid of this. This is hilarious now. Remove. There we go. That was funny. That's never happened before. Yeah, super, super proud of you. Look at this. We're getting all these clapping. We're getting clapping, like all of these ideas here are all these people clapping for Rescue Fit. All right, let's see here. What else we got here in the chat? Let me see here. Oh, Jeannie gave me a correction of how I'm supposed to pronounce Giannone. No E at the end. Giannone. There we go. Sorry. I apologize, but it's important to me that I get these pronunciations correct. The Bearded IT Dad says, "I had a brand ask me for an SOW the other day for the first time ever. The first thing I did was go to your book to see any advice or examples." So SOW is statement of work or scope of work, depending on what the brand is asking for. I'm just so happy that, like the book is being used for the purposes that I hoped it would be, right? It's just like a reference guide. Like you just have it sitting on your desk here and you're like, oh, what do I do in that situation? And just turn to that page. So that's super useful. One piece of advice that I got, or a tip that I got from someone that I might do in future editions of the book, is make an index, like in the back of the book, for words like that. So statement of work, scope of work, like, oh, what pages is that, referenced in? I did that in the table of contents to some degree, but for like certain terms and things like that, I think I might do that in an updated version of the book down the line. Can I real quickly? I want to float an idea for y'all that I've been thinking about. I'm not committing to this, but I just want to like get y'all's take, because we're BFFs on this stream. The people who show up to this live stream every week, we have like a special relationship, and I feel like I always float my crazy ideas of like things I'm trying in the business to you first, to see if it's like a dumb idea. And so the crazy idea I have is that like, someone asked me the other day, like, are you planning on writing another book? And that has not really even been on my radar yet, because I'm just gonna talk this book up for years. That's the plan. Is like this book is an evergreen book that I wrote, but I've started to think about like, first of all, do I really want to write? If I did write another book, what would it be about? And I started thinking, I kind of want to do the chicken soup for the soul strategy with this book, meaning sponsor magnet for YouTubers, sponsor magnet for Instagrammers, sponsor magnet for TikTokers, sponsor magnet for podcasters, sponsor magnet for events. And so writing like very, very deep books per platform that can go way more granular details about the strategies that I would suggest for that particular platform. And so I would basically, like use this as like kind of the mother book, the mothership or whatever, and then make kind of like a satellite book that, was probably like half as long or a fourth as long or something that's kind of, used as like almost like a workbook or I don't know if it's a workbook or what's the best word for it, but like something much more tactical. This book, you'll probably notice that the only time that I mentioned a platform, like a specific platform, is in the origin story. So I talked about YouTube as, that's how we came up. I talked about that in the origin story, but you'll notice if you go through the entire book, I don't mention any sort of platforms at all because the principles that I share, that I talk about with sponsorships are universal. Like it doesn't matter the platform that you're on, but I thought like, man, that might be like an interesting strategy to go really deep, per platform. What do we think about this idea? Can you let me know in the chat? Is this a great idea? Is this a terrible idea? TC is me in the Instagram chat said, that's a good idea. Say more, TC is me. What would you want? What types of things would you want to see in those very, very specific books? We've got Kamunto Bear tuning in on IG. We've got Shine Nation. Good to see you here. We've got Casey Decane. Good to see you here. Let's see here. Parker's on the go says, yes, do it. Bearded IT Dad says, can I pre-order 5 now? Okay, that's a good signal. Yes. Jeannie says, hell yes to those book ideas. Rescue Fit says, yes, please take my money. Okay. All right. Natasha says, you'd be updating the books every 6 to 9 months, though. That sounds like a lot of work, but a workbook sounds more feasible for you and useful for the reader. These are great points. Yeah. Jeannie says what Natasha says. Dakota says, I would buy all my creator friends a copy again. Okay, that's a pretty compelling thing. Yeah, you're right. These resource guides or manuals or whatever, you're right. They would have to be updated more frequently. I know that though. And so it would give a reason to like come out with like second editions of these and updated. I mean, look at Twitter, for example, right? Like it's now called something different. So any books, social media, marketing, businessy type books that talked about Twitter, anytime you read that book now, you'll instantly know that book is out of date. Like, oh, clearly this book was written when it was still called Twitter or whatever, right? And so I'm very much aware of that, and so things could change, right? Like now Facebook is called Meta is the parent company or whatever, and so again, like I know all these things, and I would know that going into it, and I would, but still, I still do think there is like utility, there's value in going deep on these platforms, knowing that, I'd need to update them. That would be. So rather than writing another book on like a tangential topic or something like that, just kind of, I could probably continue writing those books and those resource manuals and guides and things like that forever. I would just go back and keep updating them. Right. And I don't know, that kind of excites me. Yasmin's Corner says, what if you made it more like an online product that was more of a revolving database that you could update when needed? I'm liking the way you're thinking here, Yasmin. That's really interesting. Maybe, what if this is like audiobooks instead of physical copies? This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, so I've been thinking about a lot of this stuff because I gotta show you something here. I can't remember if I mentioned this. I don't think I did. I'm gonna show you something that I'm very excited about and that I hope y'all are excited about. Okay, I am gonna share my screen now and hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. Let me check this out, guys. Check this out. Here we go. Boom. What do we think of this? You know what this is? Guys, the Sponsor Magnet podcast is dropping imminently. imminently the Sponsor Magnet podcast is dropping. Drop it in the chat if you're excited about the Sponsor Magnet podcast. We have some absolutely unbelievable episodes that we're going to be dropping soon. Drop it in the chat if you're excited for the Sponsor Magnet podcast. I have a bunch of like really ambitious plans for this. But a couple announcements here. Number one, I'm going to be starting to do some episodes with, Joe Casabona, who is going to be my occasional co-host on the podcast now. So Joe, if you're in our sponsorship coaching program, Wizards Guild, you know that he's, one of our primary coaches in there. And so like Joe is someone that I absolutely love being around. Him and I have like a very similar sense of humor. And every time I'm around him, we're always just like in stitches, like laughing. And I was like, if I relaunch this podcast, like what do I want to get out of this? And the number one thing that came to mind is like, I want to just have fun. In fact, like I've been thinking about kind of a new tagline of like how I approach talking about my own business and like what we do. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was like, what do we do at Creator Wizard? We make sponsorships fun. And so like that, pulling that thread through the podcast is important. And so, I'm very, very excited about, having Joe as a co-host. And then I've done some other really cool interviews already with some other amazing guests that I'm going to be having on there. And I'm just very excited. I'm very excited about relaunching the pod, and it is happening imminently. Yasmin's Corner says, yes, podcast. Yes. Heck yes. As Bearded. Hold the phone. The Bearded IT Dad Dakota says, not enough super chats were happening here. Here is a coffee on me. You know what? Dakota, I super appreciate that, man. Thank you very, very much. That really, really means a lot to me. The super chats, when you, I may have not mentioned this for a while, but anytime anyone does a super chat here on these live streams, that goes to my date night in fund, the DoorDash fund with my wife, where we order food on Fridays. So there we go, contributing to the DoorDash fund. Super, super appreciate it, Dakota. Yes. Okay. We're getting some hype in the chat for the podcast. Huge hype for this. Rescue Fit says, yes, big hype. Subscribing, says Jeannie. Yes. Parker's on the go. Let's go. Congratulations. Great that you're jumping into that podcast world. When does it drop? So the podcast is dropping. Technically, we were actually supposed to drop it today. July 1st was the plan. But just some logistical things. So the real reason is that, so those of you guys who knew, I had a podcast called Creator Debates and I did it for 3 seasons. It was not specifically just about sponsorships. I actually was the moderator or the host or kind of the referee, where I actually had people on debating each other on various topics, not just related to sponsorships, but on, audio podcasts versus video podcasts, or, paid newsletters versus free newsletters, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a lot of different diverse guests and different platforms and all that. All of a sudden my nose started running. Sorry about that. Let me drink some water. And so I had that for 3 seasons, and I sunsetted it. It's been about 6 months since I've been doing that. But as I was thinking about kind of like getting back into the podcast, I decided that, really what I love talking about the most is sponsorships. And I just want to talk about that all day long. And I'm not as interested in talking about all those other topics anymore. And so I was faced with this crossroads, and I was like, you know what? Sponsor Magnet, that's going to be the name of the podcast. I want to talk about that all day long for now until infinity. And so there we go. I'm launching the podcast. And so that was part of the reason for the delay, is like really deciding to like put my stake in the ground and like, okay, this is all I'm going to talk about. Holy cow. What on earth? Are you kidding me, Dakota? Dakota says, okay, here is dinner. And just did a $50 super chat. What on earth is happening here? You got to be kidding me. Bro, thank you so much. You are amazing, and I just want to show my support. Dakota, that means the world to me. I super, super appreciate it, dude. Dinner will be on you. I super appreciate that, man. That seriously, I'm gonna do it. And holy cow, Parker's on the go. Dashing to the dough. Thank you, Justin. Also put over a $5 super chat. Really, really means a lot to me, honestly. Jeannie says, give it up for bearded IT dad. Seriously. And Parker's on the go. Y'all are too much. Y'all are too much. Yasmin says, wow, amazing donation, guys. Love the support here in the community. Jeannie says, I feel like you can say logistical things to a room full of content creators and we'll all go, yep. Yeah. So you'll all appreciate this then too. The other logistical reasons that the podcast is delayed is I have a friend who has a startup where he has unified video and audio podcasts together. So if you have a podcast, you understand that if you have a video podcast, you have to upload your audio version of the podcast to a RSS feed, like using Transistor or something like that. And if you're uploading it on video, you have to upload it on YouTube, now on Spotify. And so if you want it to be in all the places, it's like a huge pain in the butt. And there's no single source of truth where you can look at all of the metrics for your podcast, both audio and video. And so my friend Rox has a startup where he's done this. You upload your video, basically one file, your video podcast into his platform, and it distributes it everywhere. And then you have one dashboard to view all the metrics and all that. And so I am extremely excited because I think we're going to be utilizing his platform for the podcast. So it's in beta right now. Like, it's not open to the public, but this is the other reason that we're delayed, is that we want to launch on his new podcast. And his business partner, by the way, is Steven from Diary of a CEO. That's his co-founder. So he's kind of a big deal. And so Rox is a great guy, and just want to kind of support his thing. Hanadi from the KMH family says, here's $10 for some of the wine for you and April for Friday's dinner. Guys, you are so kind. I'm really, really feeling the love here today. I'm really feeling the love. Rescue Fit says, I'm headed to the bearded IT dad to subscribe to his channel for the support. That was really kind. And dude, thanks for showing our support for Justin. Guys, you guys are so kind. I love the love that y'all are showing each other as well. Yasmin said, so looking forward to the podcast. My favorite videos of yours are the recordings of your coaching calls. So I can't wait for more long form content. It's so good to know that you're enjoying that type of content, because I love doing those types of things as well. And the bearded IT dad says, I was going to ask if that platform was open to the public. Not quite yet. But I'm not sure when the public launch is going to be, but yeah, right now it's in beta. Parker's on the go says, I have to share that you really don't understand how much what you do helped us realize the value that we bring to the table. So many aha moments in the audiobook. Buy it. That really, really means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. All right. So I want to make sure that obviously we have some time to answer some of y'all's questions. So make sure to drop that in the chat. Please let me know what your questions are. Antares Airsoft says, Justin, I received your email today about Tela and I found it interesting. I didn't really get to read it all since I was only half asleep. Do you only use it for pitches or videos in general? So this is a really, really great question. And so what Antares Airsoft was talking about is, if you're on my newsletter, I shared in the newsletter today about this tool called Tela that I use to do video pitches. And this has single-handedly doubled the amount of sponsorship revenue that I generate, is actually creating video pitches versus just writing it via email. I actually think video is the next frontier when it comes to actually doing outreach and doing collaboration proposals and so on with brands. Because look, any creator worth their salt can now use a tool like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever to write a good enough sounding pitch, right? Like, everyone has access to that now. Which is a bit challenging, because it's like, okay, how do I stand out now, given that all these other creators have access to the same tools that, an email writing tool that sounds good enough. This is why I think using a tool like Tela, and specifically their new feature, auto layouts, basically you can you can film a video pitch and it will automatically edit the video for you in like less than 60 seconds. It's really mind blowing. And if you go back and look at the video that I created, kind of demonstrating how I use it, basically what I do is I have a bunch of different tabs open. So what I showed was that I am pitching sponsors right now for my in-person event Sponsor Games, which is happening in March of 2026. And I'm pitching sponsors right now for that. And so what I do is I have a tab open on my computer for my event. I have a tab open of like research that I've done about that brand and what it seems like is going on in their world and objectives that they have and so on. I'll pull up the hype video from last year. I'll pull up pictures from the photographer. And so as I'm doing the pitch, I'm just like tabbing through here and I'll be like, and as you can see here, blah, 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 blah. And as you can see here, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and I saw that it seems like you're trying to focus on this, and I'll go to that tab. And so in Tella, I record all this. So it's recording my video, it's recording basically like a screen share. And then I use Tella and it automatically edits that. And then boom, I share that with the brand. And literally the brand that I pitched in the video demonstration, I heard back from in less than 30 minutes. And they said, wow, this is super interesting. Let's talk. So honestly, like, I think that this is an absolute game changer when it comes to trying to get on the radar of these brands and really differentiating yourself from all these other people that are reaching out. So if you want to learn more about this tool, and I actually have a special link that'll get you a free trial of Tella, DM me on Instagram or just shoot me an email at justin@creatorwizard.com. I'll send you the video. I'll send you my special link. It's seriously, it's a game changer. And I'm very excited because I feel like I talk about Tella all the time, but this is the very first time that they're sponsoring me. I'm so excited that they're sponsoring me to talk about this new feature called auto layouts. Cause honestly, that's the other thing is like, this is probably the number one objection that I get all the time is like, oh, pitching, it takes up so much time. I already feel like I'm on a hamster wheel, right? I'm creating all this content, but I just can't devote enough time to doing outreach, right? And this is like, okay, you've got no excuse now, right? If you can film a video, if you can prepare your pitch, you can shoot a video in a couple minutes and then the software edits the video for you, boom, click the link, send it to them. You don't have an excuse now to allocate more time in your schedule to doing this type of outreach, right? So let's go. Bearded IT Dad says, is Tella like Loom? Do you know if you can embed from Tella? I think it's crazy that it's unlimited. Yes, it is like, it's better than Loom. It's way better than Loom because the thing about Tella is that it records your full video, not just the little circle so you can switch back and forth between the screens. So that's what it does to keep it engaging. So, it'll start on your full video, then it'll go to the screen share and you'll have a little circle and then it'll go back to the full screen. So it records full like HD video of your video and the screen. And so you can go back and edit the way it looks after the fact. Or, it'll like, again, this auto layouts feature will edit it for you. So it's literally 100 times better than Loom. I'm not even joking with you. So, yes, it's way better. So Dakota, just email me or DM me and I'll send you the link. All right. I know I was not planning on giving a big shout out to Tella in today's video, but they did sponsor me in my newsletter today. So I definitely owe it to them to give them some extra love. Holy cow here. Hold on here. I got to give a big shout out to Caitlin because Caitlin just enrolled in the 10K brand deal challenge. Let's go, Caitlin. I don't know if you're here on this live stream, but I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to talk about the challenge because that's so cool that you enrolled. So as I mentioned again, if you're interested in participating, you can go to creatorwizard.com/10K challenge. We are, I mentioned here that, these kind of 10 critical mistakes that keep you posting for free forever, right? You're looking at all these other people who are like seemingly getting all these partnerships. Like, what do they know that I don't? And so that's what we're going to focus on in this 10K challenge. I go through all the things that you're going to get out of it. I go through this schedule of like all the different live calls and, what we're going to focus on. It's basically going to be a combo of like mindset stuff of like, how do you overcome some of these limiting beliefs and blocks where like understanding your worthiness. How do you actually articulate your value to these brands when they're just offering you stuff for free, or they're offering you, the free products, right, in exchange for a review, or be an affiliate? Like, what do you actually say to these brands in exchange for actually compensating you? I'm going to be doing a live brand outreach audit where I go over real pitches that people have drafted and like provide feedback on those things. And I'm very, very excited. And there's actually, I don't mention it here, but once you actually enroll in the challenge, there's an opportunity to upgrade to the VIP for the challenge, basically, which I'm going to be doing a bonus Q&A call with VIP folks at the end of every session here too. So there's like 5 Q&A sessions over the week too. So we're going all out for this challenge, and I'm very, very excited for it. So if you are interested, you can go to, again, creatorwizard.com/10K challenge. And you know what? I'm just going to drop it here into the YouTube chat for those of you guys who might be interested. All right. Is this exciting? Has anyone here signed up for the 10K challenge? Because I would absolutely love to see you in there. And by the way, if you're in my Wizards Guild coaching program, tomorrow I'm going to send out an email to you letting you know that you get to join the challenge for free because you're in the coaching program. So we're just doing like cool little perks for folks in the coaching program as well. So I would love to see y'all in there because it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I wanted to make it like as kind of like price accessible as possible, like $97. Like I feel is like a very fair investment level for like the amount that we're actually doing. So I'm very excited. We've got Angry Owl Outdoors tuning in. What's up, man? Good to see you here. All right, let me take a quick swig. Want to give a quick shout out to Natalia Sketching, to Salt and Stone Knits. Good to see you here, Mika. We've got Chatty Kathy tuning in. We've got Chef Chris Cho. We've got My Social Designer tuning in on Instagram. Good to see y'all here. Guys, are we having fun today? All right. As I always mention, these live streams that I do every week are for y'all. So any questions that you have around brand partnerships, negotiations, etc., please drop those in the chat. Parker's on the Go says, "This is awesome. I may have missed it, but will it be available for replay? We will be doing what is this? I'm missing something here. We will be doing the traveling thing. Yes. So every video, if you can't make some of the sessions live, all the replays are posted within 24 hours. So absolutely, you can definitely join if you're not able to because of schedule conflicts. Let's see here. How do I scroll? I don't know why I'm not able to scroll down here. Oh, there we go. KMH Family says, make sure to give this live stream a thumbs up. I appreciate you, Hanati. Delilah says, oh no, I don't know why I thought it was at 3, but hey, everyone. Yes, good to see. No, don't worries. I'm here 2 p.m. Central every week, every Tuesday. I'm here. So good question there. Replay is totally not a problem. All right. Today's topic, if you're just tuning in, is why brands aren't sponsoring you. We covered a bit earlier in the live stream that really honing in on your surprising transformative promise, your STP, your unique value proposition of how you're serving not just your audience, but prospective brand partners. It's like a huge deal when it comes to differentiating yourself. Okay. The second thing that I want to cover in terms of why brands are not sponsoring you is that you are reaching out to brands that are kind of unrealistic based on where you're at in your creator journey. So I understand that your dream brand might be this like enormous conglomerate, the Nikes of the world, the Targets of the world, the Walmarts, the, big consumer brands. Oh man, it would be amazing. I always wear Lululemon joggers, or I always drink coffee. So it'd be great to get Starbucks to sponsor me, or I always drink these energy drinks or whatever. And I'm not saying that those deals are impossible, but what I am saying is that when these brands are spending 10, 20, 30, 50, $100 million on marketing, they have to take absolutely gigantic swings to move the needle on their objectives as a brand. And so they have to be taking $10 million swings, $5 million swings, $1 million swings. What that means is that forging a deal with you for $500 or $1,000, it's not going to move the needle. There's no way that it's going to move the needle on their objectives. And this, again, I'm not trying to be callous in the way that I'm describing this, but you just have to understand how these brands are oftentimes thinking. Again, it's not that you can't get deals for them. It's that what you pitch them might need to change. So perhaps maybe what you're offering them is not to talk about them on your platform, but to help them accomplish their objectives in different ways. So maybe it's generating content for them that they're able to utilize or repurpose on their platforms. Maybe it's generating ads for them that they can throw into the Meta black box, the TikTok black box, the YouTube TrueView ads black box to actually generate more efficient ad spend. That might be something, interesting to focus on. One of the things that we're going to go over in the 10K challenge is how do you actually analyze the ads that these brands are currently running to figure out pitching angles. In fact, LinkedIn just recently added this ad transparency to their platform. So I work with a lot of B2B focused creators, and this is an absolute goldmine for them to know what a lot of these, kind of more niche brands or niche companies are focused on with respect to their marketing strategies. And how can you mine that information? How can you copy and paste that and drop that into something like ChatGPT? Ask Chat, what are the 5 most important themes that it seems like this brand cares about for the ads that they're running? Wow, that's useful information. Why can't we do this? Of course we can do this. And so these are, again, some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the challenge, these kind of like next level strategies to differentiate yourself when you're reaching out to these brands. And so that's why I always try to inject a dose of reality into people's strategies when it comes to collaborating with brands. It's like, how can we make the brand do a double take? They get this email and they're like, wow, no one's ever asked us that before. Or wow, this person seems to be thinking a bit deeper about, or they must have a better finger on the pulse of the industry to a point where we just don't. And that is my goal with these types of suggestions is it's not that it can't work, but you have to be more thoughtful about your approach. Also, another way to interpret this is that maybe this also means that I don't go after the gargantuan companies right away at this point in my journey. Maybe I go after the mid-tier brands or the smaller brands because those seem like I might be able to help them in a way that these larger brands just don't understand yet, right? And so that's a very, very important insight here is realizing that there's no shame in targeting some smaller brands early on if you can get some wins under your belt. Natasha says, let me go check LinkedIn real quick, because if it's anything like the Meta one, that's beyond cool. Yep, Natasha, it is. It is. So hopefully that little tip will help you. Dakota says, I want to do more speaking, like paid speaking engagements. Any advice? I've only got speaking engagements where they paid for my conference pass, but they are even few and far between. So again, Dakota, I think that it comes down to understanding what the conference's objectives are. So what would be the reason that there's a couple of reasons why an event would pay you. Number one, can you drive ticket sales to their event? That's one thing that's absolutely at the top of their mind. Can you drive ticket sales? Or if you are on the docket to speak, are people going to come just to hear from you? I don't know. Is that a question? If you were to share about this conference to your audience in your YouTube community tab or on your newsletter or whatever with some special deal or some special promotion, or maybe not even a promotion, it's just like, wow, I've never heard of this event. Thanks, Dakota. Thanks for telling me about it. Can you prove that to the event organizer as a reason why they should bring you there? That's number one. Number two, are you proposing a topic that is so novel and interesting that it's going to bring people there? Is your talk something that is so outstanding and unique and interesting that people don't even know you, but they want to come to the event to hear you talk about that? That's number 2. Number 3, are there other ways in which you can provide value to that event beyond you speaking? For example, can you offer to bring a videographer there to not just film your talk and create content that the event can repurpose, but also film all the other speakers, or also film B-roll of attendees there? That videographer you could also serve as someone who interviews attendees there, and you provide this package to them where they're getting all these other things beyond you just speaking at the event. This is something that a lot of folks in our one client in particular I'm thinking of, this is something that they've done for events that they've spoken at. And so now the event can justify, oh, I get why I have to pay Dakota $7,500 to come and speak, airfare, all this, because I'm getting all these other things, not just him speaking there. Is this unlocking anything for you? Right? It's like, how do I get in the mindset of this event organizer and think, why would I pay Dakota? Why would I pay money to do this? How can I differentiate myself from like other people at this event? I'll give you like one piece of like just speaking from my own experience, Dakota. We just had one of our planning calls for Sponsor Games 2026, which is going to happen in mid-March next year in San Antonio, Texas. One thing that we want to do is have a dedicated social media person there. So, because what I really want to do is I want to have someone posting in real time. So I want them to be getting like hourly or every 2-hour dumps from the videographer and our photographer so that we can be posting stuff in real time. And that requires a lot of logistics. I can't have someone on my team liaising with the photographer and videographer. I need someone whose dedicated role is doing that, because like, what is the best time to get people interested in either attending Sponsor Games 2027 or maybe purchasing a virtual pass, which we're maybe thinking about seeing if we can do? What better time than during the event itself, right? And so having a dedicated person who's doing social media, like for example, can you imagine if someone pitched to like be a part of my event? It's a little different because we don't have speakers at our event, but like, can you imagine if someone pitched this, like, hey, let me be your social media person. You have to pay me for this, but here's all the things that, I would love to do for you. Because right now I don't have anyone directly on my team that's going to be able to do this. And so we're thinking like, who could we reach out and partner with to do this on our behalf? We already have someone in mind that we're, pitching this to, but like, again, a lot of times event organizers don't have like full-time staff to do these types of things, but there's all these valuable reasons that I would want to pay someone to do this for us, like all the things I just discussed: selling event tickets for next year, selling virtual passes, getting content that they can repurpose, getting content that they can use for paid advertising down the line, et cetera, et cetera. Is this making sense? Anyone else who are listening here, of like who may want to do like public speaking, and this may apply to you. Like, is this unlocking anything for you? Yeah. So Dakota, like, let me know if this is like unlocking anything for you in the chat. I see a mind blown emoji here, but like, again, the principles are not so different than pitching for a sponsorship. It's getting into the head of the person who owns this brand, or of the person who controls the purse strings of the marketing budget, getting into their head of like, what are they trying to accomplish? Probably more ticket sales. That's like a big, first and foremost, like that's a really big part of this, right? Natasha says, a latte for the LinkedIn ad library tip. I just found 300 recent ads to mine for my health niche. Merci beaucoup. There we go. Let's go. And she gave a $10 super chat. Natasha, I super, super appreciate you. That really means a lot to me. Seriously, I super appreciate that. And I would love to see you in our 10K brand deal challenge, because I got a lot more gems where that came from. All right. The Bearded IT Dad says, yes, I just did that for a brand and they covered all my travel expenses and paid me $7K. Let's absolutely go, Dakota. That is incredible. Love to see it here. Love to see it here. Another just like totally other random thing. So, I just had a conference agree to pay for 300 books of my books, to buy 300 of my books and put them on every chair of all of the attendees at this event. And wow, what a huge coup for me, because like that is a huge business development move for me, because like there may be certain situations where if you have ways to get value out of speaking at an event beyond just them paying you. Like for me, it's like, how can I get my book in the hands of everyone there? You may choose to construct different agreements with this conference where maybe they don't pay you, in monetary terms, but they buy your book, or they offer to, if you have a course, to buy 100 licenses of the book for 100, they do a giveaway at the event or something like that. And that could lead to future business down the line for you. Why not forge a deal like that, right? Where it's they're paying for other types of things in your business that could then lead to future business. What do you think of this? What do you think of this idea? We've got John Willis tuning in the IG chat. I want to give a big shout out, or now on YouTube, John says, Justin, I want to give a big shout out to John because John recently, just a couple days ago, filmed a case study with us. Joshua on my team, who is one of my writers and interviewers, interviewed John about his experience nailing some really, really incredible partnerships for his business. And I just wanted to say thank you publicly, John, because I don't know if y'all know, but I have this whole section, this new section on my website called case studies or success stories, where I do very, very deep, like interviews and kind of, like deep dives into creators' businesses and like how my book and my course and coaching and things like that have helped people. So I really, really enjoy learning more about the origin story and kind of where people were at in the beginning and like kind of like carrying through their transformation. So I'm really, really proud of you, John. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you can paraphrase here in the chat of like, what your experience has been like, over the last couple of years as a creator. And I think if I had to sum it up, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, John, but it's like John really felt like there's no way that I'll ever be able to get on the radar of like some of these brands that I would love to work with one day because I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers or subscribers or whatever. That actually turned out to be totally wrong. Like John was able to forge some like pretty amazing partnerships with one of his dream brands. Things have changed a lot for him. So really, really proud of you, John. All right. We've got social media coach Mark tuning in on Instagram. We've got non-nail artist Wars D4. We've got Willis Shoots. We've got Julia Christine Home. Good to see you here, tuning in. And this is I just love these live streams. Honestly, I feel like are some of my most favorite things that I do every week because I think I've heard this actually a lot where people as people's businesses grow, people can lose touch with what's happening on the ground with people in their audience, people in their community. And that's never, ever something that I ever want to have happen is I want to know like what is it's, yeah, like I've got all these people in my coaching program and that's great. But like, that obviously also is like someone who has achieved a certain level of success in their career or they're investing in their business. And I also understand there's a lot of people in my audience who are nowhere even close to that, like being able to join the course or join the coaching program or whatever. And it's like, it's very important to me that I'm still serving everyone. Right. And so even if you are still at the very, very early stages of your creator journey, it's very important that I'm able to serve you. And so my live streams, this is the way in which I really still want to be able to maintain that connection with y'all. And so I never want you to feel like my business has evolved to a point where I'm not able to help you because I get so much joy out of people DMing me, out of people emailing me and saying, I just got my very first brand deal. Inject that into my veins. Like I'm telling you, like that moment, you know why? It's because it's like, I remember when we got our very first brand deal and it was an absolutely transformative moment. It was like, wow, maybe this could be a thing. Maybe I could not lose money. I could actually make money. And maybe it's not just me surviving, it's me actually thriving. maybe I could actually do this thing full time one day. Yeah, it's distant in the future, but like maybe there's a path here. Maybe all my friends, all my family, they were all condescending to me. They were all, hey, how's that creator thing going? Right? They were all making the condescending remarks at the holiday dinner table. Maybe one day I could push it in their face and be like, oh yeah? Remember when you said that thing to me? Guess what? This brand just paid me $500. This brand just paid me $1,000. This brand just paid me $5,000 to collaborate with them. That moment is so transformational. It's like this. It's just this opening, this massive opening where it's like there's no ceiling here on what this could be. Oh, I got goosebumps just like talking about this, right? So I really want to make sure that this is like something that I can help everyone, not just the people who are like crushing it with brand partnerships. John says, Justin is honestly a legend. His course is mind-blowing and has completely changed how I work with brands. Eye-opening stuff. Because of you, I landed a $5,000 brand deal with one of my dream brands. Thanks. It's honestly been a roller coaster since doing Brand Deal Wizard. I'm so thrilled for you, John, honestly. Super stoked for you, man. All right. I gotta take a screenshot of this one, John. I'm going to do it. I have to do it. Let's pull this up on the screen here. And I got to figure out if there is a way to, I want to make sure this doesn't take over the whole screen. Here we go. I'm going to do it. There we go. I did it and I'm going to save it. There we go. And did this take over the whole screen? It didn't this time. Okay. All right. I did it. Terrace Airsoft said, that's a very selfish thing to do, Justin, doing this for the high of helping people. How dare you? I know. How egotistical am I? Right? I can't just help people for the nobility of it. I have to get something out of it. No, that's funny, dude. Anyways, these live streams always go so quickly. I just wanted to honestly thank everyone who shows up to these live streams every week, and especially those of you who did the super chats this week. That is definitely going towards the DoorDash date night in fund with my wife on Fridays for Friday movie night. We watch a movie with the kids. Thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Do I have to make an announcement about something? No, I don't. Never mind. I'm going to be back here next Tuesday for the live stream. I thought I had an obligation, but I don't. But again, importantly, if you want to join the 10K Brand Deal Challenge, creatorwizard.com/10K challenge. Would love to have you there. All right. See you all on the flip side. Peace.